Hi everyone, it's Nat here. Hope you're doing well. I'm on with my second video for my guest design team project for Whichcraft Do You Do. So you may remember in my last video that we did the cover for this cinch journal, front and back, and I did a pocket with a tag as well. So since then I have been working away and I have done the front covers for the other two journals as well. So I thought I would quickly show them to you before I get on with what we're going to do today. So put that one to the side and I'll show you this one. So this will be the cover for the bug journal. And again, I've used a piece that was from the bug collection set one. And these little labels are also from the bug collection set one, and I've just put brads in them. I've just backed it onto some material and some cheesecloth, and I've used the fabric down the raw edge of the book there where I've cut the spine away. And I have these vintage photo corners. I bought them in an antique store one day, and I mainly wanted the packaging because I love the packaging and I had no idea what I was going to do with these photo corners, but I'm so glad I bought them now because I absolutely love them. They're perfect for this. So yes, we've got that one done, and then I did my butterfly one, although I did have a bit of a whoopsie with that one, which I will explain to you. So there's the butterfly cover, and again I've used some of my vintage photo corners, just some gold ones for that one, and I've used another collection label there, but I've used a black one on that one, and I've backed that onto cheesecloth and then a bit of old book spine paper. Now the issue I had with this one is I didn't perfectly center where I put my holes, which doesn't really matter, except when I did the back piece, I must have done it the wrong way around. So when I put it together, which was meant to be like that, my holes didn't align, did they? And it was like, no, and then I had to quickly check my other ones to make sure, but the other ones were fine, thankfully. And it's like, no, what am I going to do? Because it meant that the back, to have them align, I could have them align if I put the back on the inside like that, then they align. So what I've done is just cover the back, the new back, with some fabric. So sort of fixed it, but that was a bit of boo-boo. You've really got to, keep your mind on things, don't you? And I thought I was doing so well, so I thought I'd fess up to that. We all make mistakes. I make plenty of them, that's for sure. So that is what I have been doing. So they're the covers. Now today what I want to work on is, you might remember that I also got as one of the digitals the slides set 3. Now it had 3 different types of slides and then labels that went along with them. So I have cut out the slides and I cut them out with my scan and cut. That's why there's a few edges that are a bit off. So I just trim them down, I will, and ink around them, and that'll be fine. So what I am going to do with them is I'm using each different type in a different journal. So the ones with the scalloped tops I'm using in my bird journal. The ones with the tabs on the side I'm using in my bug journal, and the ones with the oval centre I'm using in my butterfly journal. So that is what I've decided to do. So I'll put these ones to the side because today what I think we'll work on is butterflies, and I'm going to do some butterfly slides for my butterfly journal. So for my first few slides, I have here these 2 from the slides collection. Now they're quite similar in colour, not exact, but if you do want the exact same colour, you just print out the sheet twice and then you could use the same colour. And these I'm going to stick together like that with a beautiful butterfly in between. And then I have this grey one here. And I'm going to use this, which is one of the pieces from a sheet from the Bugs collection section 1 of the background pieces. So I'm going to use that to put at the back of this slide. So that's the first 2 I'm going to make. Now what I'm going to use in them is, I I did this last night, although my laminating wasn't too good. The first sheet always comes out not too well. I don't know if it's dust or what that's in there, but you never know in this place. But that's all right. So what I have is some wings from a butterfly, and no, I did not kill a butterfly. Once when I got a secondhand book, I opened it up, and I'm used to finding pressed flowers, but I found a pressed butterfly, which really grossed me out. I decided to keep it though, because I thought, well, if someone's gone to that trouble, I might as well try and do something with it. But the body had disintegrated since then, which is probably a good thing because that's what really grossed me out. And I just had the wings left. And I also found a couple of butterfly wings in my backyard one day, so I'd kept them as well. So I used just one wing with a pressed flower that I had here, and then I used 2 wings here, and I just laminated them. So I thought that'd be good fun to add to one of my butterfly journal. And because I don't like wasting a laminate sheet, I decided just to put some leaves in there, and I'll use them for other projects in the future. So first thing I'm going to do is cut out my butterfly wings ready to put in my slides. So therefore I will need to, I think I'm putting this one in there like that. So make sure I cut out a decent square of it so it sticks well. I just grab my pen. I don't know if this will show up on the laminate. We will see. Oh yeah. Doesn't have to be quite that big, but it will just give me a kind of guide. And then for this one, it will be something like that. I know to go within those lines, and then I can cut it down more if need be. And then we want to cut this down as well. Do this on the back. Fortunately, it's the perfect size width-wise, this sheet. And I'll just have to round the corners up the top, but otherwise it should fit pretty good. If we just cut down there. If it overhangs a bit, that's fine, because I can trim that off. I'd rather a bit big than too small. Put that to the side. Now it's very white on the back, so I do want to get a little bit of colour on that. So I've just got my vintage photo ink here. And my water spray. Don't want it too wet. I'll have to let this dry for a little bit. But it will dry a bit lighter than what you see it now, so hopefully that'll look quite fine, and that'll give us a bit of a journaling spot on the back of our little specimen card. It's always hard to get it to the edges, the colour. That will do, I think. Will curl up, but it will flatten out when we stick it down, so I'm just going to put that to the side. So I have, let's have a look. I've grabbed my aged mahogany, my rusty hinge, and my ground espresso, and just my trusty old text stamp here. So I just want to put not much on these because I love the colour of them as they are, but just a little bit of interest in the background here and there. So just spread them out. Now the aged mahogany I just want on this one, just to sort of go with the colours that were in the flower. It doesn't have many of the colours now, but it has sort of like a purplish maroonish in there. And I didn't think I wanted sort of purple or any pinker than that. So I think the aged mahogany will go nice for that. Maybe in some brown as well. And then, of course, the butterfly wings have your sort of orangey and your browns and that. So we'll see how we go anyway. But I want to make sure that I've got my text up the right way because I can never tell this stamp. Yeah, I just can't tell. I think that was the right way. And on this paper, that looks pretty good because I don't want it. Might do a secondary stamping on here. Yeah, that looks good. Not sure how much of it's going to show up because I'm not sure what else I'm going to put on here yet. So but I think that's pretty good there. Don't mind me, I'm a stickler for having to wipe my stamps off. So next we might try some of the rusty hinge. I'm not sure how well it will show up on here, but that's all right. I don't really want it to take over the beautiful colours that are on there. Oh, that comes up all right. Although as it dries, it might wear off a little bit. Now, let me think. Don't know if I want the ground espresso on this one so much. Every time I pick it up, I've got to check. Like that. It's a bit more down there. Beautiful. So that one's done. Now I won't bother cleaning that off so much because we're doing another brown now and a darker one. So we'll go the ground espresso on these two. Don't need too much. Not much come there, that's for sure. It's better. like that one. So the next thing I'm going to do is just go around the inside edge and the outside edge with my inks. So I'll use Ground Espresso on these, and I'll use my Vintage Photo on this one just to do the edges. So I will do that, and then I will come back when I have finished and we'll get on with the rest. So I think we'll work on this one now. This is pretty well dried, and that's how it looks. And I think I've decided that I like the look of my inked part on the inside here, because then I've got the lovely background piece there to write on that we'll see more of. So I might do that. I think that will go better. So that is the plan. Now we're going to have it, which I forgot when I was doing the stamping, but it doesn't matter if the stamping's sideways. We're going to have it up this way because I'm thinking of putting this in the journal as a page to flip over, because we can cinch, just press our holes through this side, or punch our holes in this side and use it as a little page and write on that side if we like. So that is the plan. So now I've got to cut this down a little bit more, and I think I want it on an angle. I want my flower on a bit of an angle like that. So again, I think I'll just make some marks with my pan so I know round about where I want to cut it down more. Don't think I can even see the marks there, but I know it wasn't far that we wanted to cut it. But I will cut extra because we do want to stick the cardboard down around it as well. But we don't want to cut it too far. So we do want it something like that. So that's looking pretty good. So I don't want to cut too much off because we don't want to see, but I will cut around that corner. I think that will work, yes. And we can cut just some of this off excess-wise. Okay. Now, any overhang of the underneath card we can trim around afterwards, so I'm not too worried about that. It's just the placement of a butterfly firstly. And I might end up sewing around, I'm not sure, but I think it will hold it a lot better if we do sew around, just to ensure that it doesn't come apart. So I think if we leave that sitting like that firstly, just trying to think if we got everything done we need to do before we do any sticking. Just grab my paper and try not to move my butterfly. Slip that underneath. I'll grab my Helmar's glue for this. I'm just going to stick some glue around the circle here to pick up the acetate to stick onto this for starters, and then we'll stick it all down onto the background afterwards, is my plan, to get the placement where we want it. I like doing things the hard way. I don't want it too near the window. I don't want it to go onto our acetate if possible. So we just want to pick that up. just did here butterfly in the laminate to our window like that. This is where everything sticks to it. So I'm going to let that dry for a bit so I can wipe it off a bit before I stick the rest of it down. Now I do see that there's a fair bit over here, so I'm going to try and trim this a little bit. Just so it sticks a bit better. That should be all right. So yes, it won't take long to dry. That Helmer's glue's really good. And just dust that a little bit because it gets every bit of everything on there. I like the way it looks without sewing. So we'll see how it holds. I think it's going to hold fine actually. So we'll contemplate that. So now we can do just a tad of trimming. I'm not sure. Let's have a look here. I don't want to do the big one. I think it's about that one. That will do. Okay, so definitely need to ink that. Much better. A little splatter there, I think, from when we did our inking on the other side, but that's fine. I don't mind that at all. So that gives us a little journaling spot. That's pretty sweet. Okay, so next. We do have... I do have a stamp here, an Australian stamp. I might put that on there. And I think I might actually grab a die cut flower sometime to put up there, or even a flower stamp to stamp over there. But I'm not sure which one I want just yet. I might have to cut one. I'll do that another time, or else this video will get too long, because I do have other slides that I want to put together. But I also have these little specimen labels. Now, these did come from the tags. No, these came from the slides kit as well. These beautiful labels. And these specimen ones all came from the slides set 3 kit. So, of course, all the kits are linked down below the individual ones that I'm using for these projects, as well as Whichcraft Do You Do's shop. think we'll put one of them on there. Maybe up the top. And stamp. And then I might find, I reckon a die cut flower would go really nice up there. Now, I'm just going to get a bit of ink around the edges and take some of the whiteness off. I think I like that down the bottom, and I do like that up the top. And just going around the edges because of the whiteness on the edge, as usual. Might even go over it a little bit. You won't see it much though. Just to get some of the whiteness off of the specimen writing there. I don't know. I could put something under that. I don't want to make it too bulky, but a little bit of fibre poking out would be nice. So I'm using lots of this in this project. I have a lot of little off-cut bits, so I can't throw these little pieces out, so I might as well use them. Here's a nice little bit. Just how do you get it on? Okay. I'll try and do something with that. Don't ask me what, but we will try. Messy stuff. Now I think we can trim some of that. All right, that looks pretty good actually. So we might leave that for that one. As I said, I might find a die cut or a stamp to go up there. But there's that specimen card. So now we've got to work on this one. And this one is going to be one that we just slip into a pocket or clip as a floating journaling card. Well, it's not even going to be a journaling card really, because I reckon with this one it'll be nice just to have it clear like that so we can see both sides of the beautiful wing. So that one's just going to go together like that. That one might be sewn. So again, we might have to cut a bit more off of this. A little bit off at the top, but not too much. Again, it's getting all dirty, but that's all right because we can wipe that one off when it's in there even. So this one's pretty straightforward. We're just got to stick it onto one side and then stick the other side on. So that looks pretty good. So I might do this one similar to how I did the other one. Now when I inked, I did ink a bit around the inside edges here because, you know, I did hand cut these bits, and when I put them together, they're not going to be perfectly even with the other side. So if we see through to the other side a bit, hopefully it won't be too white because I have inked on the insides. That's my plan and I hope it works. Good luck to me. So again, we don't want it right near the edge of the window because we don't want to get it on the laminate. Now if I want, I can just trim that down a bit. Now to try and put them together. Now I assume once we try and put these together, the main thing is trying to get the window pretty even, because if the edges aren't completely even, we can trim them a little bit without it looking too bad, I think. Okay, here goes. So I've got a bit of wriggle room. I'll just check. Goodness, that looks pretty good. So I'm just checking both sides of the window really and seeing how it looks. And the inking on the inside definitely helped with that. You can see the other side a bit, but because I have inked it, it's not too offensive. Yeah, that'll do. I just got dust all over my window now. It's always hard to tell which side it's on. Get an anti-static cloth in here, I think, to get some of that off. But there we go. That looks beautiful. All right, so now we have to embellish that. That side's gorgeous, isn't it? It's like, which side do I want to make the main side? Maybe that one. So for this one, we have these beautiful labels. Thinking maybe one of them. Funny feeling I've used that one already. So I'm thinking of going maybe that one, because I don't think I've used that one. And I have got these pictures now. Obviously it won't be the right butterfly, but I'm looking for a little butterfly moth just to stick in the corner here. Maybe one of these little ones. That one's pretty cool, the checkered skipper. So I will spend a minute just chopping him out and we'll see how he looks. Okay, so I've cut out my tiny little moth and I inked around him with my ground espresso just to get the white bits off, and I inked around my label as well. So I'm going to put the label down and put my little butterfly down. So I think I'm going to put these down like that, and that will be this one finished as well. Now I think I'll be sensible and use my Helmer's tacky glue for this. Oop, that came out all right. So there is one more project I want to make with the specimen cards for the butterflies, and that is that they'd make great pockets on a journal page. So I want to make 2 pockets. I'm not sure if I'll sew them on or stick them on, but I think what I'll do is use some projector film that the lovely Beck sent to me. Thank you, Beck. As the window. So I'm going to stick some of this in each of them as a window, and then I want to use one of these background pieces which came with this background piece in the Bugs Collection 1 kit. There were some awesome little background cards, so to do tags that I will slip in to my pockets. So I might just cut one of these in half firstly, so that will make 2 tags. So that's 2 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eighths. Just see how this is going to fit, because it's going to be close to being a bit small. So I just want to see. So if we have this sticking down, that should just work. I want to make sure it's thick enough that it will sit in there, you know, and you won't see the edges. So only just. But then again, you want it thin enough so that if I do stick it down or sew it down, that it is going to squeeze in there as well. So I think that's going to be perfect. Now what I want to use to sort of decorate them with, it's going to be very simple, but I had a book page. It had these specimen pictures of bug pieces. They were sort of in oval shapes, so I die cut them out in circle shapes. These are moth antenna, and this is a butterfly tongue. Pretty gross, isn't it? But I thought, how cool are they? So I'm going to put them on as specimens. So I'll have to put them on so that when we slip them in, they will show through our little windows, is the plan. First thing will probably be to ink around these, which I don't think I have done. It's hard to tell. I might have, actually. It does look like I have inked around these. Oh, that's good. But I'll give them a quick going over anyway, just to be sure. So yeah, I just go along the insides like that, and the outsides the same with this one. You would definitely want to do it before you put your little window piece on. Yeah, I think I did do them, but it doesn't hurt to go over them again. Now, do we want to? I might just go around very lightly and carefully. Now, I'll get our windows done. So let's just measure, I think. These are about 3 2/8 would do for that. Yeah, I think I want the window about the same size almost as the slide itself. Just because we're slipping things in and out, we don't want them getting hooked on bits of it. Although it could be shorter this way because it's not going to get hooked down there. It might get hooked up here if we put it short though. So it might be worth sewing this. Thinking. So what did I say, 3 2? Yeah, 3 2/8. Better write this down. 3 2/8. And then if we do, looks about 3 would be all right. So we want 2 about that same size. So I might use my cutter for this. Might just leave that paper on there while I cut it and see how we go. Stop stuff sticking to it. So we want, we'll do the 3, which is there. Then we want 3 2/8, which is a 1/4 net. And then another one at 3 1/4. And that should be right for our 2 windows. Now, how do we open these things again? Forward, backwards. Help. That did something. There. Stupid things. Must cost like most of your money for the packaging. Okay, let's see if it works. Oh yeah, I like that. So let's just put a little bit of colour on these. Take our tissue paper away. So now we want to basically just stick that onto there like that. Now the corners need a bit of trimming, so I'm just going to just cut across the corners like that. Make sure that fits. Yeah, that looks good. So I might stick that down. there's our little window. That looks all right. So we do the same with the other one now. So leave them to dry. So now we're just got to make our little tags to go in. So what I think I'll do is embellish these little pockets, and when I do the flip through, you will see the tags and how I've slipped them into here, because once we we'll have to put these on a page to know how far these will slip in, so we can get the placement of our little pictures right. So I think I will do that then, but I do want to embellish these a little bit, and what I've got to do that with are these beautiful little labels. And these came from the assorted tickets and labels set one that I grabbed, and they're beautiful with the butterfly. I'm not sure if that's a butterfly or a moth, but I thought it looks a bit like a moth. It's probably a butterfly actually, but that's all right. I thought I would put them on the front of these, which I think will look pretty cool. And we might as well do another little, we do a little specimen up the top. Yeah, we might. Kind of like it to the side a bit. Think about that. But I definitely want those. So give them all a quick ink around. Okay, I'm going to use this just because it's the right sort of height. And even though one edge isn't frayed, it doesn't matter. And we're going to grab ink out again. And a dauber. And give it a little bit of colour. I'm just going to move these. So I need 2 pieces of this. Now, I could cut and fray that bottom, but I don't mind having a straight bit. It might be a little bit long. Yep. So I'll just take a tad. Should use my other scissors, I think. just colour it up a bit and see what we think. I've got to open this thing again. That way. It probably needs a bit of brown as well. Hang on. Go brown first. Well, that definitely changed the colour. Beautiful. Now this one's probably too long as well. That's nice and murky. Okay, so now let's clean up some of this mess that I've made. Get working on these. So I think I specifically wanted the moths feelers in the green one, so we'll put this one on there because I'm specific like that, which drives me crazy sometimes. So then we've got to figure out if and how we want our stuffs. Yeah, that looks all right. The other way is like that way. Okay. Let's stick it on. So there's that one. Then we rinse and repeat for this one. Okay, so I think I am done. Yay. And I'm really happy with what I have done this video. So we have our 2 specimen pockets for our tags that we'll be putting in. These are all obviously for my butterfly journal. I am going to make specimen cards for the other journals as well, but you know, it'd take too long to do them all on video with you guys, so I thought I'd just do butterflies with you today, and you can see the type of thing that I want to make. And I'll be doing similar things for the other journals, but you'll see all of what I do when I do the final flip throughs of the 3 journals that I'm making. So yeah, I've got the 2 pockets. I've got this beautiful specimen, which is going to be a page, hopefully, if it works. It should work. I'll make it work in my cinch journal. And then this one, which will just slip into a pocket somewhere, tuck it in somewhere, and then I can pull it out and turn it over and have a good look at it. So I really love that. So they're beautiful slides. What I love about these slides is the size of them. They're nice and big, so you can fit like bigger specimens in. They do come with a sheet of butterflies that you can cut out and use in the slides, which are awesome, which I'm going to keep and maybe use for some clusters and that sometime. That's what I love about all these kits, is you can mix and match and do what you like. You know, you can use them the way that's been shown in the videos. Kerry and Renee and Anne do videos a lot of the time using their digitals, which give you great ideas. So I'll link their YouTube down below as well, so you can check them out. But of course, you can go along and mix things around if you like and make up your own little specimen slides. And, you know, I've mixed a lot of the elements throughout the 4 kits that I'm using in all of these journals, which is working really nicely. So I hope you enjoyed that. Take care of yourself. Check out the links below, and happy crafting. See you later.